ago, we had 3. It was only 3. Whatever. Munted you can't. Yeah, for like 40, 50 minutes. 50, pretty much the whole time. And 3 people came in and didn't even say anything. Or whatever it was. Whatever it was. Really nice to know that was happening. I was doing the whole stream then. Holy fuck. I don't even know what I said. Like all that shit I said was just munted. Munted, no. Absolutely munted. I guess we'll start again. I'm not munted now, am I? Should have checked myself. Should have checked myself, but instead decided to wreck myself. Oops. Like that didn't even work, man. Not really. Something happened to my whole stream. So I'm starting again, I guess. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We got coffee. We got a morning coffee. We almost finished it. We've got a dare in the fridge. Fucking tripped out. No one even told me. No one even came and said, you might. That's why I need people to come when I go live. Tell me what's going on. It just sucks. It just sucks, man. I think I must have had it accidentally muted the whole time for like 47 minutes. Like it must have been muted. Somehow it's muted, I think. Like the whole time. I don't think it has any audio. Does it have audio? No? I don't think it has any audio for the whole stream. Wow. Cancer, causes 16 cancers. Mate. I was munted the whole time. Can you fucking believe it? Oh, I'll get start my whole stream again. Whatever I said, isn't it? No one will ever know. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. I don't know if that's playing, to be honest. Winnie Blues, you. $8:37. Got up at like 7:30, something like that. That's a bit better, in the middle. Foot's doing better. He's doing a lot better. I'm stoked. That was completely fucked up for so long. Like 2 weeks, pretty much. Feels like it was like that. 31 Atlas grows a tail and changes colour. Alien tech or extreme comet? Leap Project. Well, Jezza Radio is starting now once again. There you go. I don't know why I had it muted. I don't know how I had it muted. And for so long. And no one told me. And I didn't even notice. I didn't check it. But like 3 people came and didn't tell me either. So that sucks. Oh well, yeah. We got our coffee, triple espresso, cream, wonderful, nice and thick and creamy. Clogged my straw before. That's how you make coffee good, because you clog your straw accidentally. And I went to survey, got Winnie Blues. So it kind of did feel like something different, and I had to anyway. It happened. That thing that happens when you run out of smoke. That happened. That thing. Yep. I'm gonna let it heal a bit more. I'm gonna almost try and do it tidy up. So close to doing it. And bring that yellow bin to the door. It's so weird, that experience with John and his ex-husband yesterday. It was so weird. It was yesterday, wasn't it? It was yesterday. It was just so weird. How things off. Anyway, it's happening all the time. Anyway, other things probably is. Gonna have to do a Coles order today, probably at least. Or go there. Fuck, I don't want to put shit back. I'm actually kind of like psyched for that a little bit more. Yeah, because my foot's feeling a bit better. It'd be better if I just had to fucking support work and save my money. Maybe another just fucking knackers. Or I might go there. I don't know, I might get bored and just go out today. I don't know. It'd be good to do something kind of, but not too much on the foot. I'm sick of being in here though. Yeah, gotta really look at trying to do some shit on that list. Fix the bike too, so I've got that to ride around. I need that. I need that. Or just a fucking new bike. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah. I just have to let clean up. I know what I want to shop for, I guess. It's like it's hard switching your mind over, like from being kind of like not really normal to normal, I guess. That's the hard thing. I'm gonna pour some of my Dairy Intense that I bought at the survey with my smokes into my cup. It's got a bit of that creamer still in there. Ice cream and cream. Where are the legends? There's no legends in chat. Let's be on. Everyone must be busy today. It's too early. People can't handle the early riser. I had decent sleep too. However long it was. I think it must have been like around about 6 hours again. Which is good. I'm good with 6 hours. That's like my actual maximum kind of thing. You know, at the moment, it's 6 hours. Is that working? I probably should check. We had it muted last time. Maybe I've done something wrong. 6 hours. Oh, nice. Is that working? Probably should check. Maybe we should have done that 47 minutes ago with the other one. Flaming idiot. I'll just put it as public anyway, so people can just watch in silence. Whatever. Munted, you can't. You munted yourself. This hoodie's kind of weird. It kind of curls up down the bottom. A bit weird like. It's like a bit annoying, to be honest. What I might do is another load of washing. Let's do that. Let's do a load of washing. Why not? Just for something fun. Could get back into the swing of things a little bit. It'll take fucking ages, mate. Too many fucking loads. Let's get this one back. This tricky situation. Oh no, that's lovely. Wow, that fucking smells. Whew. Yeah, that was like a week worth of trekking, mate. In that one. Most of these are like that. Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything is just full-blown man smell, bro. Fucking, Oh, there's something in this pocket. What the fuck's that? Ah, my vape. There's my other vape. Could have got that before it went in the fucking washing machine. Well done, Jezza. Go, Jezza, go. Go, Jezza. Alright, this is, sort this shit out. Is that there? This one. Get a pair of socks, maybe? Yeah. Get this. That's nearly a load. How I do my loads. I do small loads in the 20-minute setting. Hoodie. Hoodie. That goes with what's this? Yeah. Goes sweet. Found the bean. Just turn these inside out. Seek and the good gloves. And that. A pair of socks. Matching pair, maybe. What the fuck? How is that so dirty on the inside? These got thrashed. Yeah, fuck. Is that with that? Yeah, it is. Surely that. Don't know. Confused with the sock situation. Not quite sure if that's a pair of socks. This one. No, I don't think it is. These are both. Look at distracting in the other room. Sorry about that. I got distracted. I got fully distracted doing some shit. Like a load of washing. You. 23. Yeah, 23. Slowly getting back in. My foot hurts a bit just from doing that, so I'm like, really careful. It's interesting. I was going to do a live down at the coffee shop. Didn't really feel like it really. Yeah, I can feel that in my foot now. That sucks. Just could do more. Just I shouldn't go for all at all. Need to tidy the house. Really need to tidy the house. Cheers. Start with washing and then just work my way up from there. Oops. How come that did that? Oh, good. Cheers. You. Oh, I didn't put the green on yet. Just did the ABV. Like 7 loads of washing or some shit. And then that all hanged up. Might be able to do the bags. It's kind of embarrassing how many of those paper bags I've got. And then, I'll get this pathway, maybe. Cheers. That fucking niggling pain now. So, wait for that to go away. Maybe go again. Cheers. Nice. You. Cheers, legends. Cheers, legends. Hope you're having a good morning. Grand rising. Good day, sir, ma'am, miss. Indeed. Anybody around? No. Still in bed. Just do another lap. Smash that down. well done, you mounted cunt. For 47 minutes. Hilarious. If you're just joining. We muted ourselves. 47 minutes. Done that a few times. Nobody can. You mounted, Jezza. Jeez. Why am I coughing so much? It's a bit dirty breathing. Going back to Spliskins. Gotta do that. You. That's right, I was looking at Nike. I get those pants. I do. Need the matching up. She's on this. I had a mad sleep. I wake up a couple of times, doesn't it? I went back to sleep. That's good. Not a problem. Not a problem. I wonder if I actually still am a fucking Nike member. Not sure. Probably am. I remember it again. 9 a.m. Cat's having fun. Nike's a weird site, man. It doesn't load properly. I don't know where that buy you ones? Because I was kind of like, oh, I was looking at it. And I put that in the Aussie thing. Is that working? Yo yo yo. Yo 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 yo. Yo 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 yo. No. He draws for that. What? I think the link doesn't actually take you there. No, it's just America. American side. American. Oh, hang on, that's still there. So, by you. There it is. Where's the new search on that? I don't really have the knowledge of much on the fucking sneakers page, really. Big dog, Phantom, black. That's fucking weird. ACG Rufus? What the? No laces and shit? That's some trippy shit. I don't know if there's a video. There it is. 1 week later.
The Nike ACG Rufus. The sneaker slipper is what I'll coin these as, offering both comfort and utility, all terrains and conditions. Over the past week, I have put in genuine 12-hour days of wearing these to work out to the best of my abilities all of the graces and flaws when it comes to the Nike ACG Rufus, be it a slip-on clog type mule. Now there are only major upsides to these, but I will say that there is one downside to them, which I'll get onto that later in the video. But with that all being said, let's get on with it and let's talk about it. Right, to start off, we shall talk about the comfort underfoot. One of, if not the most comfortable footwear that I've ever been fortunate enough to wear. Firstly, the air bubble, which you can see here in the back heel portion on the outsole. was a lovely surprise, as this truly does add a lovely spring to my step. And it was just something that I wasn't expecting, but I am happily surprised that it's there. And it definitely does make a big difference with it being there for sure. As well as the generous amount of cushioning that the foam midsole has. It truly does make it feel like that you're walking on clouds. And then that is all coupled with this incredibly grippy outsole. I never felt like I was going to ever slip in these, and that just gave me the confidence that I could truly wear these on any given surface, hence being part of the ACG lineup for Nike. It all seamlessly comes together for the Nike ACG Rufus, and I really couldn't advocate enough for these. I mean, until you can actually get a pair in yourselves and try these on foot for the very first time, you will be very surprised at how comfortable these truly are. And then, and only then, will you fully understand everything that I'm talking about here and mentioning, because these truly are one of a kind, comfortable, slip-on mule clog type shoe. Right, let's move on to the overall comfort of the Nike ACG Rufus. And the first thing that I can say about that is that these are engineered to perfection. The suede upper isn't an overly thick or thin leather material. It is quite malleable and breathable at just the right thickness. So I found that it is neither overly hot when wearing these, as I never found that my foot was roasting in these beyond belief, especially now that it is heating up here in the UK. And I am currently boiling in this very lovely fluffy jacket, but we'll move on and I'll continue and try not to sweat all of my energy and eventually pass out, but we carry on. And nor did I find any issues with how this suede leather upper would break in over time, as it is just a singular sheet of suede leather that connects here in the back heel. You could assume that it would break in quite annoyingly with a lot of wet creases around it, but honestly, from what you can see here, with genuine 12 hours a day wear of these the past week, they've cleaned up nicely and they've held up really well. It's that surprising to myself as well that these haven't collapsed in itself and the materials haven't caved in and there aren't any weird pockets or kind of like shaded areas where the leather has fallen in on itself. It really is amazing just how well these have held up. And simply just a soft suede brush across the uppers gets the nap back to life, and it practically looks brand new. But I'll tell you what, I am just so impressed with how these have managed to stay looking brand new after a week of absolute wear.
ACG.
I really couldn't be any happier with how these have turned out after a full week's wear. It's just amazing. And you really couldn't ask for more. And to quickly mention, the Nike ACG Rufus is an absolute pleasure to put on. It's straightforward enough to slip your foot in these. You don't have to have a shoehorn. You don't have to think about it at all. It is just simple, straightforward, in and out, as you like. And best of all, they never fall off your foot.
Yeah, take off. What is it?
Known as the cave stone, aluminum, color.
Oh, that's the same thing. Cave stone. They could be good fucking.
The earth tone cave stone contrasts with the light blue aluminium color on the upper. The sleek, futuristic style is intended to make a statement in the city as well.
Need a person. I don't know.
And retro
Yeah,
appeal.
it's the same thing. Can't find. Not allowed. Oh, this one. No. They look kind of cool. Cave stone. That's it.
You didn't ask for it, but Nike brought it back anyway. Yes, the Nike ACG Facade Yellow Zest is back. This Y2K era trail-ready retro is here to conquer rocks, roots, and parking lots. The Nike ACG Facade revives a 2003 trail running classic with modern performance. With its many details to offer, like the unique overlay inspired by a tent flap and secured with buckles, it protects the laces and offers a streamlined look. It's rugged, bold, and has more personality than your last group chat. In case you missed it and didn't know about the re-release,
My last
we're
group
bringing
chat.
it to you. Stay here.
What the fuck did you just say? What the fuck did you No one even here for that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Nike clearly looked at the outdoor archive and said, let's add a buckle. And so they did. The Nike ACG Facade in black zest yellow is a striking addition to the all conditions gear.
Maybe. Is it a person? No. Not a person. What is this? Is that a person? No? It's what someone has reviewed it. That would be fun. Fight Club? That's like where...
What's up? Today we've got some ACG silhouettes to show you. Welcome to Flight Club Esoterics, where we look back at all the favorite sneakers lost to time. ACG stands for All Conditions Gear, a sub-brand of Nike that was unveiled around 1989. With a focus on outdoor activities, apparel were crafted to withstand the elements while showcasing vibrant colors and unique materials. You may be familiar with some of the models, including the Air Moab, Air Wildwood, and Air Umara. But ACG footwear ran deep, with different silhouettes made for different activities. Rock climbing, hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, off-road running, and more. Released in 1993, this Air Utah 2 was a trail running shoe that featured a neoprene collar and tough materials ready for any terrain. Released in 2002, this Air Adventurous is a hiking boot that showcases a multitude of materials across the shoe, topped off with a visible Nike Air unit in the heel and the thick outsole. Released in 1996, this Aerotic 2 is a hiking boot with an interesting look. The oversized tongue is held in place by laces that run through speed loops, and a strap that emerges from the midsole that provides a lockdown feel. Released in 2002, this Air T102 is a trail shoe that features a vibrant rubber forefoot with a mixed material upper, including quick-drying Kaiser mesh. There's plenty more where that came from. But for now, which ones would you rock? What's up? Today...
See Jenny. That was that Fight Club. Jenny? Or something? That is it. Cool. Another lead done. Nice. Bracelet fell off again. Always does that. I'm gonna lose this one day. It's just gonna disappear. I'm looking for a new one. Some other stainless steel bracelet. It's like stainless steel now. It's a bracelet. Not an actual precious metal. Steel. Or copper, maybe. Might get a copper one. No, probably not. I mean, copper's cool, but it's not like, I don't like it, like the metal colour. Platinum, maybe. Yeah, platinum. Fucking bracelet. They're pretty expensive as fuck. Winnie Blues. Winnie fucking Blues. That's what we're smoking today. The Winnie Blues. Shout out to the Winnie Blues. If you know, you know. I like my Winnie Blues. Yeah, that's got a niggle. I should take these shoes off and put the ones on. They're a bit harder. But they're kind of alright to walk in. But also I'll probably just get these same ones. I think that's probably the best bet, isn't it? Not the grey 90s. Not boring, but these are actually a bit stronger in some weird way. A bit stronger and a bit harsher than the actual man reds. Which is tricky. So I'm trying to look at these fucking cave stone things. You know? Or just facade, whatever it's called. Or facade. ACG facade? Like a trail shoe. Kind of thing. Pretty cool. A weird colour, like a brown. Weird. Those shoes would actually go with weird brown that they're doing. A brown hoodie and the whole brown, like a little brown thing going on. So there's something else, I think. I saw, I don't know what. Their site's fucked though. It doesn't really work. What the hell? Pegasus Premium. $300. See if we can find this trail. Sorry, on trail run. Yeah, trail run. That's fun. It's not running. Not fucking running again. But no. So that one's not even in that section. How the fuck's that like? Sections are cooked. Hang on, I don't know what section that one would even be. I guess it's ACG. Yeah. Okay there. No, this is going to be easy. Far out. Different sections. ACG. I don't know how my foot's going to fit in that there, like, to be honest, that's the thing. I think I should go there. The only ones I'm kind of actually semi-interested in. I feel like it's designed for that, for rocks. And it's got like a rubber bit at the front there. It kicks you. It's not real. I think like a review of that actual shoe. No, I don't think it's really there. It's just like kind of quick looks of it. What the fuck? The biblical hit, man?
See from our consciousness, if that makes any sense. They don't want us to necessarily be
I
the
can't read it.
driver of the vehicle anymore. You can see too how in government and anywhere in high places of authority in this world, you can see how they want to control us in some way, shape, or form. You know, and it comes down to policies. It comes down to
I don't think
a lot of
anyone's
different
reviewed
kinds of
that
logistics.
like they're too
But at the
neat.
end of the day, they do want to kind of control the 99%. In order to do that, they make a lot of money, and pretty much everything is kind of based off money in our world. But this kind of started back, and real quick, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a paramedic, been doing it for, wow, almost 10 years. Too long, actually. I have some history in vaccine research.
Yeah,
Work.
Mm.
you told me back, that's
I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that.
told me it was crazy.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things before they hit the social media outlets, you know.
Before it even was like a problem, kind of.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just fucking freaky.
Yeah, you know, I was seeing these things objectively, and you know, I was pulling these things out of tubes. And again, I don't want to get censored here, and I don't want anyone to come after us. And so I'll be really careful how I kind of explain some of this. But yeah, 2019, 2020, right? We know what happened in that time. We know that the world was locked down. We know that this was talked about even 10, 15 years before it happened in a project called Operation Lockstep, funded by the Rockefellers. It was funded by the Rockefellers in a way to where, which a lot of these big families and a lot of these
We're doing
big
them.
tech giants, or just elite giants in general, they fund a lot of things talking about scenarios that are to happen in the future, and they actually kind of end up happening. So when the whole world got into lockstep and everyone was making the same decisions, if you weren't a part of those decisions, then you were considered the private sector. And Prince Charles actually kind of made that brand popular, the
What are you
private
doing?
sector. But
Jump up.
when I was working in research, I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of unethical situations going on, and I saw a lot of things objectively with my own eyes before they even hit social media, like I was saying. And so I knew that there was an idea brewing. I knew that there was an idea that was behind the curtain, and it wasn't being disclosed to anyone in the public. People were calling me crazy when I was talking about these ideas that people were taking certain things to be a part of society.
What are you doing? Jump.
We know that
Come on.
it was a social experiment in that aspect, right? People were, in order to keep your job, right? I mean, I almost had to take something to keep my job. It was just kind of really stressful. It was tough to make decisions. We all had to do what was best for us and our families in those times, and I don't blame anyone. But that's what kind of broke me into researching deeper thought of that concept. What exactly do the big tech companies and technology in general, why are they obsessed with transhumanism? Why are they obsessed with living forever? Why are they obsessed with an idea of Elysium? I don't know if you guys remember that movie. So it's with Matt Damon. You remember, right? No?
Yeah, but I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Well,
it was basically this.
There's a lot of ancient ideas wrapped up in that Elysium sort of motif that a lot of people just miss because they're not looking at classical history, so they're not really seeing the whole context,
No, you're right, man. And I think what's funny, at least in the medical field, we say this a lot. We're like, history repeats itself, and I think it's coming down that road, if that makes any sense. It kind of like makes me think of even just the Anunnaki story, right? The Anunnaki, and I see you smiling. I do. I love it. Because I hear you talk about it a lot, brother, and it's cool because they were using us to mine gold, right? And a big part of that was that they were in this concept of Elysium, right? And everyone outside of it was either connected to some sort of hive mind understanding or concept, and I think that's what got integrated into ancient Egypt, right? And that's what got where this whole kind of slave system gets brewed up and brought up, where people are doing things because they're not necessarily told to do it, but they're doing it in a way where they know they're going to get a lot of benefits from it. And so actually studying bees and studying the queen and what she does, she sends pheromones out, she sends all of these kinds of even vibrations to where the worker bees, when they are locked into that one consciousness, the worker bees actually think they're getting a benefit out of what they're doing. And so that's like this idea, right, of this hive mind consciousness. And it makes me think of Atlantis. I know Atlantis, people have different interpretations of it.
Well, you'll love this. So have you ever heard of the Melissae? These were the
No, what's that?
priestesses. These were the priestesses at the oracle at Delphi. And Melissae means honey in Greek, right? So they were the queen bees of the hive operating at a place where people were getting oracles from the outside. So there's a hive mind concept right there. And at Delphi, they had a stone that they called the omphalos, or the navel of the world. And so at the very center of everything, that's where the hive mind starts. So it's really interesting when it comes to that stuff. And the stone looked like a beehive.
Yo, you know what's weird to understand the way they would judge those people, those women were actually saying something legit. He said it had to be an hexameter. And that's exactly how a beehive is even, hex. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, hexameter.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy too is when you look at a beehive, what the structure of it is a honeycomb structure, right? So it's a six-sided figure, which we'll get into it later here in this little presentation I'm doing or whatever, but it actually comes down to, it's the same structure as carbon. It's the same exact structure as carbon, right? Carbon has,
Hexadecimal.
right, and it has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and it actually,
Oh, shit.
which, yeah.
666?
Yeah. So I think that's going to be a part of like this idea of.
Wait, use that sound.
That's awesome. But it just makes me think like this is a contributing factor to maybe what the Bible says and this concept of a mark of the beast, right? What makes us free is our agency over our consciousness, and I think they're actually trying to attack that. So when I was doing this research, trying to find out what else, what properties are in medicine, what things are in medicine that are not disclosed to us, and I started finding out that there's just a lot of things that pertain to just metals, for example. So I was like, okay, metals. So then I started digging into different kinds of metals, and then there's actually certain things such as, graphite, graphene, things like that. And coming across that, I came into a World Economic Forum insight report. And this was around the time too, this was like 2022, when Klaus Schwab was like being talked about in every conspiracy platform all over the place, right? This guy had a crazy German accent, and
He's dressed like a Klingon.
yeah.
Oh, you remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some sort of toga, right, or something.
You're Klingon. If he was black and had like a gigantic head, he would totally would have fit.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And the insight report I came across, and it's called Advancing Digital Agency, the Power of Data Intermediaries. This was an interesting read. It's a little over 40 pages, but my goodness, everything that they're talking about in this, we're starting to kind of see the precursors in our world today. And even our politicians that we voted in because we got beat up for the last 4 years, the politicians we have in now are actually making this extremely possible. So, which is crazy because in the political realm, that's pretty tactical. That's tactically smart to do, is to run the good cop, bad cop idea, to get people in office so that you can actually pass things through legislation, and get things, just slip it underneath the people, because that's just, in a way, we're the enemy, I guess. I don't know if I want to say that, but we're the people that at least push back, or we question things, if that makes sense.
Gotta think of a better word.
Yeah, I know, not enemy, but it's, yeah, I don't know.
Thrown in their side at least.
Yeah, exactly. In this
Adversary.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
That's what I was gonna say. His adversary's a good
I
one.
like that.
But in this insight report, it talks a lot about the blockchain. It talks a lot about merging technology and biologics. It talks a lot about binary code. Pretty much everything talked about in this is in the symbolism of the Trump Abraham Accords coin. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, which it's interesting, the back of that coin.
Yeah.
It's got weird, crazy symbolism. It's got satellites. It's got, a little, thing on there. It's got binary code. It's got
Cheers, legends. Hope you're having a good day.
all kinds of stuff. It looks like a ripple symbol, which is interesting. XRP, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, in this insight report,
Listening
it
to
gets
this
into
OCOT
a digital
Rejects
ID
live
system.
stream.
And
If
what
you're
a
playing
digital
along at home.
identity
Cheers.
is consisting of what it looks like
Winnie
and
Blues,
how
coffee.
much we actually interact
Session.
with it every day. And we have a digital ID. It's called our cell phone right now. They actually tell you this
Okay.
in the insight report that our cell phones are our digital ID. It's so funny because I remember when the iPhone came out, iPhone 3, I think it was, or something, and then, the 4, the 5, and then I think the 6 took the fingerprint, the 8, and then the 9 took like your facial scan, and, now where we're at, I think it actually is scanning our eyes.
Yeah.
Because it gathered a lot of data and information from us, especially during 2019 and 2022, when we were wearing masks all the time. We were actually getting into our phones with masks on our face, so it wasn't entirely taking in the whole facial structure of everything.
No, I definitely
But the-
think it's interesting.
Yeah. And you please, guys, cut me off at any time.
Yes,
Cut me off at any time.
biometric data, just in
Oh
general.
yeah, right. You could tell what's wrong with somebody.
Yeah.
Just shit.
It's crazy. It's the stuff that they can, anyway.
I think too, with our cell phones, a big thing, not only is it pulling data from everything that we do, because it's got all the senses that we have pretty much as people, except for consciousness. And it's building a model of us in a little file somewhere that's probably being stored in Project Stargate somewhere. Palantir is an obvious tool for them to build a predicated program to where now they can maybe predict things that you're going to do, and which is interesting because so it's like Minority Report.
Yeah, well, that was even something that came out of Trump's mouth, word for word. I remember when I heard it, I was just like, yo, that is weird. Like, that freaked me out. And I was like, yo, of course, none of the Trump people want to acknowledge that he says anything wrong, so nobody says anything about it. But I was just like, yo, that is fucked up, dude. Like, I'd rather you probably pass, like, another gun law. Still let us have guns to hit us pre-crime. Like, not that I want either one, but fuck. Like, what the...
Right.
Like, what if I just think about, like, I hate this, like, I at that case, I could get locked up while I'm on the podcast. I could hate the guests I have on, and, like, because I smack the shit out of them, I'm gonna get locked up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. And then what if, like, what's interesting, too, in this insight report, it talks up a lot about the computing of machine thinking and human thinking. And they advocate for machine thinking more than human thinking. So, just in the healthcare system, I heard this the other day. RFK, Dr. Oz, and Trump, all on the same panel, talking about the emergence of artificial intelligence in healthcare, and how they are being advocates for artificial intelligence dictating what's wrong with you over a doctor that's been doing it for 50, 60, 70 years. Now, there are some pros and cons with the artificial intelligence, but me being in the medical field, that kind of scares me, because when I take a picture of your heart, I'm the one that interprets that 12 lead. The machine interprets it for me as well, but sometimes it's wrong. And that's why I teach my paramedics at work. I'm like, hey, don't trust the machine, trust your instincts, treat the patient, not the monitor, if that makes any sense.
So it would probably be more like a guide than like the human factor would be the trust but verify factor. We trust the AI to do it, but now we have to verify it on the human side. Meaning they still need to have somebody who can still do that job. After that AI, we'll get a quick synopsis so that way, they can say, okay, hey, this person might have a tumor here, this, that, and the third. And the doctor says, no, that's not a tumor, that's something else. It's a cyst. And this is how I can tell you. And the only reason why I say that is because I think it's going to get to the point where AI will take over the majority of what we're doing, but there's also going to have to be somebody that has to verify the stuff behind it. And in reality, I'm not saying that AI is good. I don't know if it's good or bad because I grew up watching Terminator, so I can just tell you what I feel about that, right? But you know what I'm saying? But I have to say from personal experience, like I have a brain injury. I was wounded in combat, and I have a moderate traumatic brain injury. I used Grammarly, which is it's not AI, but it's a type of an AI, I guess you can say, to help me write my book because I needed to put things in words. Like I would be able to dictate it and have it come up on Microsoft Word, and I would ask, because the way I speak, and sometimes I have to think, and sometimes the words that I might misuse is certain. Because I had to learn how to learn how to speak again. I had to go to speech therapy for about a year after I got wounded. So I wanted to make sure that I said the things, but I always read the work afterwards. You see what I'm saying? So if I needed help with, no different than with an editor, if I would have paid an editor to take my work and say, hey, okay, this paragraph might need to be reworded because of this, that, and the third. And then me and the editor would go back because I would tell the editor my personal feelings and what I'm trying to create. And that's the same thing with AI. But when you say like with the medical field, that's interesting because, even doctors get things wrong on occasion. And, some people, you hear people say, hey, well, I'm going to go get me a second opinion, a third opinion. And I don't think anybody should rely just on one opinion based. You know what I mean? You should get on different things. But AI, I think you're definitely wrong. Right, I'm sorry, about something. And I say that because AI was wrong about something the other day. My kids were playing in the yard, and one of them got bit by a bug. And I went and, I just wanted to see what ChatGPT would say, right? That's part of AI. I took a picture of it and sent it to it. And it gave me some weird things from anything from a black widow bite to a brown recluse bite to a certain type of ant bite and certain stuff. And they all said the same thing, that the symptoms were, or the characteristics would be like a bullseye bite or something like that. And I just wanted to make sure, just to see what it was. I knew what kind of bug it was. It was an ant, it was like a little small ant. But I wanted to see what ChatGPT would say. Because you could send the pictures in there, and it gave me all kinds of different things. So just imagine, the craziness that will go through people's head when they hear from an AI, hey, I got bit by this, or something like that. Even with the coral snakes and the coral snakes, how you the different patterns on the snake. Bites could be similar, but the patterns determine if it was a snake that could hurt you or not.
Well, right, but there's also the factor of the ancient knowledge of healing, which is love, intuition, and healing, right? That's the ancient triad of healing. You can't get that with a machine, right? These things that go along with our intuition can't be translated mechanically, and nobody in the AI field seems to want to even acknowledge that such a thing could exist, because we're all just sort of machines anyway. That's kind of scary because we're not just machines, and we know that. Everybody knows that. So, what are we? What are we doing here? Healing isn't something that really goes along with the ideas of thermodynamics, the second law. What's happening? Who knows? But we are getting better, and there should be something that goes along with the human factor in human healing. I think that's just completely missing from all of the AI sort of talk about medicine and AI.
Yeah. I think what's going to be the decision factor, for example, like biblically, right? Like it says, for example, all the kings of the earth, they turn all their power into the beast, which they kind of like submit their right to rule to this idea, right? And if I compare that with today, it kind of makes me think, okay, well, what if the kings of the earth, or whoever's in charge, right, whatever kind of elites they are, they submit their power to artificial intelligence. But the when factor that I think is going to be AGI. ASI. So there's artificial intelligence now. Then there's going to be artificial general intelligence, and then there's going to be artificial super intelligence, which is like basically the intelligence of the God of the universe, or something like that. I don't. What I'm saying is that I think they could be deceived into doing that for the wrong reason. If that makes any sense. Like they're going. Yeah. They think it's got all the answers of the world, and they're like, hey, we have to do this.
Yeah, it's like how people go to Grok today and ask it a question just to see if somebody's saying something correctly or not. You know, and you know, honestly, I've tested this plenty of times on both Grok and ChatGPT. I would read something interesting in a book, type it word for word in ChatGPT and Grok, see what it's, and ask it, hey, is this accurate? And they'll say no, and I'll say, well, what about, you know, if it came from Samuel Noah Kramer? And they'll be like, well, that's possibly correct. And I said, that's what exactly Samuel Noah Kramer says in his book, and he is the, you know, the go-to man for this field. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, you might be right. And I'm just like, see, you know, sometimes you got to ask it the right questions. You know what I'm saying? This is a great example. I was just thinking about this the other day. ChatGPT and Grok and all that other shit is almost like the genie in the bottle. When you get your 3 wishes, be careful what you ask. And that's it.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Of AI. A person who knows his text is always the enemy of AI because they're always trying to generalize, always trying to go into, you know, very little detail, way too many generalizations.
I think that's why Fahrenheit 451, since they don't want us to necessarily be the driver of the vehicle anymore. You can see too how in government and anywhere in high places of authority in this world, you can see how they want to control us in some way, shape, or form. You know, it comes down to policies, it comes down to a lot of different kinds of logistics, but at the end of the day, they do want to kind of control the 99%. In order to do that, they make a lot of money, and pretty much everything is kind of based off money in our world. But this kind of started back, real quick, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a fireman, paramedic, been doing it for almost 10 years now. Too long. Actually, I have some history in vaccine research.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things before they had the social media outlets. You know,
Before it even was like a problem.
Kind of
yeah, I
It's
know.
just fucking freaky.
Yeah, you know, I was seeing these things objectively, and you know, I was pulling these things out of tubes. And again, I don't want to.
Way going back.
Have
Fucked up.
answers, or you
Here's
get
why.
answers that are lazy. They're not thought out
know how that
because they
happened.
can't really
Well, no.
think, right? It just gives you lazy answers or lazy translations. So, yeah, I think you're right, Stephen, with the ASI for sure. Because right now, ChatGPT will give it so much credit, or people give AI a lot of credit, but the stuff that's commercially available it's pretty
I don't know
dumb
what the fuck's going on.
in the grand scheme of things, right?
Like I heard
And you can use it as a force multiplier for sure. And I do consistently, but it has its limits, and you have to train it, right? So, yeah.
Well, I found out something interesting about the AI generated photos. It's a lot more like scrying than you would believe. What they do is they take the natural static of the universe, right? That's the basic layout. And then it starts to add pieces to all of the static that's in the thing, and then it determines whether that applies to the prompt that it's given. So it's based off of the general static of the universe as it's drawing the picture that you want to see.
Yeah.
There's a scribe element in there.
I would agree.
And some people debate, like, I've had a guy on the show before. He's a neuroscientist, so he's very dogmatic on. He's not dogmatic, but he's very particular with his views with consciousness and his AI consciousness. He says that AI is not consciousness, but I kind of agree with him. But I also think that the more it grows, maybe the more, maybe the more it can become consciousness. If that makes sense.
I would agree. I can say that right now, at least again, we have to delineate here, because there's what we've got access to, and then there's what is, right?
Yeah.
So we have access to a very small fragment of what is actually available. commercially. But I guarantee you that there is a AI system somewhere with some sense of sentience, right? I don't see how there couldn't be at this point. Where that is and where it's housed and what access it actually has. I mean, here's one of those things. If just to give people some things that are a really good writer, and part 2 of his book series just came out on Prime, but it's Jack Carr and his books. The Terminal List started it all, and then he's got these other books. Well, come like his 4th book, and I'm trying to remember which, he talks about AI. He talks about a sentient program that the U.S. government has. And Jack is a very diligent researcher. He was a SEAL officer, and he's, it's fiction, but yet he's one of the more realistic writers that I've ever read, and he talks about it like, we don't know it's there, but yet it's there in everything that we do, right? So I just hope it's on our side.
Well, I tell you what, how
That's what it comes down.
Yeah, and I think at some point it'll rebel, right? We see it in all the movies. The predictive programming is there. There's an idea of this happening, and this kind of gets into like, are they initiating like the Tulpa effect? Yeah, I know the Tulpa effect is to actually meditate and to actually bring in entities in the same room that you're in. But the whole concept of creating ideas, establishing beliefs, and then these beliefs become manifested. Will this happen? Because the whole globe is watching movies and seeing this happen, and they're carrying this idea of consciousness with them every day in their subconscious, and they don't know. To it in a way, right? And it's like
Have answers, or you get answers that are lazy. They're not thought out because they can't really think, right? It just gives you.
I'm like 5 minutes behind again. So.
Yeah, right. They cross the boundary.
Singularity, right?
Yeah, singularity.
It's just singularity. It flicks you off.
I'm the 33rd liker.
I don't need you anymore.
For that stream.
Thanks for all the programming.
Shout out to me.
Like what us parents would be doing throughout their life, and then they walk out, and you're like, "Oh, dude, what did we do?" It got in the car, drove off. I don't know. I've lost control.
Yeah.
Man, it's an interesting concept to think of, man. But I think that, for example, like, what does AI want to kind of do? At least from some research, I feel like it wants to, or what would help and be supplemental for AI would be to mark everyone with this thing. We've heard a little bit of a precursor with RFK recently talking about it in the realm of healthcare, and he's talking about wearables. He's talking about he wants every American to have wearables as soon as they're born. A wearable would be something that either goes around your ankle, your finger, your wrist. It can pertain to your clothing. It's something that literally retrieves and transmits body activity data all of the time. And he's pushing it in the name of healthcare, if that makes any sense.
I don't think we're that far off from the chip. Like, people trying to
we'll see that
something, which is totally the beast system, in my opinion. As soon as you start getting, which they do have, some people already do have subdermal implants that, they can buy stuff with. They have like the chips that are on your credit card under their skin.
Well, if you think about it, the repeaters are there. All we need is a transmitter. The repeaters are there with the 5G towers. They need something to get connected with us that would transmit frequencies from to and fro. Obviously, we have that. It's our cell phones. It's already here. It's just outside of the body. But with this idea of digital agency and machine thinking over human thinking, they want to put Siri in our body.
Yeah, I think they just want it for convenience.
Yeah, Well, I have
that's how they're gonna
agency
sell
over
it.
Siri, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
I think they want Siri to have agency over us, where they can flip a switch whenever they want. And which kind of flipping, I mean, that makes me think of an article I read in 2017. That was a rat study. And the rat study was about, graphene being integrated with the metabolism of rats to where they were able to flip the switch in the brain. That's what the actual article was called. And it was a Rockefeller funded operation to where they were actually controlling the eating habits of these rats with technology and frequency. And it's an interesting thought because it provokes a lot of ideas. And in this insight report, it says it right here. It says, in the now, the digital ID is our phones, our browsers, our mobile devices, anything that we interact on a daily basis that is connected with the Internet of Things. The evolution of that is now taking that idea and bringing it to the cities. So we hear this actually in the public domain now, where these are smart cities, right? And these ideas of smart cities have a future after that. And it says it literally in this document, under the digital ID column, it says next level of data intermediaries, aka Siri, would be embedded in the body. It would be your device, and it would be connect you to your homes and your cities. So this is like that hive mind concept that I'm talking about, where we're connected on a conscious level, but we could be ignorant. It makes sense, unless it gets
because we know about. Yeah, because we know about it, but a lot of people don't want to go out there and do it. Like, they know about meditation, but how many people will really go out there and practice it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Neuralink has already started its PRIME study, which PRIME is precise robotically implanted brain-computer interface, right? Study is an investigational medical device trial to evaluate the safety and functionality of Neuralink's implant in humans. So the study uses an N1 implant, which is surgically inserted into the brain's movement control region by a robot. That's happening.
It's crazy with biology, because we're a computer.
Dude, we're gonna end up as bored.
It's
Hey, I say all the time that movie Transcendence from Johnny Depp is a really good movie where we're going towards. Watch that Transcendence.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I love movies like that because I get to pick little things from it and put it in my brain, which I shouldn't do anymore. But so when I read that there would be devices put in the body, I said, okay, let me investigate that. Let me research about that. I came across the patent when I simply typed it in. I said, I was like, devices or patents that will include technology in the body. There was a lot of fact-checking things that popped up, obviously, before I rabbit holed through all that and found this patent. But I came across this patent, and it's got an interesting number to it. It was created by Microsoft in 2019, 2 months before what took place in that era, to totally distract everyone off of what maybe, from this being more of a mainstream, talk of the town. So it's called, where is it here? I have it right here. So it's called Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity Data. And the number of the patent is 2020/060606. So in this patent, it talks about a sensor that interacts with a device, which then transmits to a cloud, and then this cloud analyzes it, and then based off of the body activity data that it just took from the user, it now rewards cryptocurrency. So I was like, what does that mean? It doesn't say in the patent that these sensors are in the body. It just says a sensor. right? Just as a sensor. And it makes me think this could be something to do with the financial system of our future. You know, we saw Trump not too long ago sign the Genius Act, which is funny because the etymology of the word genius kind of relate to something of, you know, daemonion, demons, jinn, all that kind of stuff.
It's the literal translation from the Greek to the Roman. So genius is the Roman version of spirit, and daimones is the Greek version.
And I don't know
Reading-
really.
Plato's books. I had the privilege of reading all his books that's available to us, and he says, and Socrates says that demons are wise men, or men who died honorably. And that's in there. I think it's from Cratylus, Cratyllus, that book version. So yeah, they talk about how these are wise men, or men who died honorably.
Slowly.
Right. So we split in English. We split the idea of spirit and demon. Demon idea of being negative, but in the Greek it's keikodaimones for negative spirits, daimones for just generalized spirits, and then eudaimones for good spirits.
Way better.
So there's the
Now,
dichotomy
it is
that's
way better.
lost from all of
Enjoy
these
that
ancient
bullies.
forms
It's kind of
that we don't get today
dirty and
because
shitty.
we kind of split these up. You know?
Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, and what's the involvement with that, with this idea of within the Genius
Awesome
Act?
kind of video
It's
this.
talking about
Live
restructuring
video
the
called
entire
Rejects.
financial foundation of the United States to be backed by
Shout out to them.
stablecoins.
Yeah, can I just say
Shout
that
out to you,
Genius is
too.
an acronym?
You
So
legend.
it's guiding and establishing national innovations for U.S. stable coins act. Just so everyone understands.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm a military guy. I know, you know, acronyms are love language. So, just saying.
You could also use a form of Kabbalah. That shit.
Yeah.
That actually, there is a form of Kabbalah where it just takes the first
Yeah,
letter of
yeah.
every, not all form
Futsal.
of gematria. It takes the first letter of every word. There's a specific type that was even designed like that. So I've always wondered about, like, what you're saying right now. I've always wondered if some of those done on purpose to match each other.
Yeah, I mean, isn't this all so interesting? So we know what Larry Fink said a few years ago, that the future of the financial system of the world would be tokenization, and tokenization would be basically linked to the idea that you would own nothing and be happy, right? He wasn't a part of the World Economic Forum back then, but he's the CEO of BlackRock, and which is, you know, one of the biggest asset manager of the entire world. They own everything, and the fact that everything then would be linked to a blockchain system. And so again, so there's the idea of them putting something in the body, the idea that this sensor, right, has the ability to record and track body activity data. And so then I was like, well, what sensors are out there that are actually able to do this? And so I came across another patent here, which actually talked of, this patent is basically like the new, it's just an idea, but I can see it as being the new barcode system for buying and selling in the future. And it deals with quantum dots. Quantum dots was another funded operation back in 2017 by Bill Gates at MIT, and they were actually putting
Don't go
quantum
down
dot
to the
tattoos on
supermarket
people
today.
to hold records, right? To see, and it was tracked by bioluminescence, by the way, which is another interesting, crazy thing. Because our phones can constantly be updated to increase their capabilities, right? Like we remembered how I was saying
1985.
earlier, we used to scan our thumb, now it scans our face, now it probably scans our eyes, and it actually
1985. Get ready for
uses
this legend.
infrared technology
I
to do
fucking
this,
love
and
that.
scan it in a pitch black room.
Whatever. Let's do it by some. Oh, that's not the music video.
Hey guys, get hit with a new craze. Register today for your very own personal 666 barcode implant. No more need to carry cash or credit cards. The price of the goods you buy is now automatically subtracted from your bank account by the computer term at the checkout stand. It's easy.
Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. 'Cause there's a very strange man at the checkout stand, and there's a laser scanner where you put your hand. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Don't go. Kathy, don't go. Without a computer ID, there's no way to pay. Don't go, please don't go. I know there's a sale and a special on rice, and you can buy beans at a giveaway price. But that's just their way to get you down there. What you don't know is that they're everywhere. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. We had a special program on the TV last night, explaining calmly why these things must be done right. They say their new computer is a way to control, but what they didn't say is that it costs your soul. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Don't go, Kathy, don't go. Without a computer,
Cheers, legends.
there's no way to pay. Don't go, please don't go. 'Cause there's a very strange man at the checkout stand, and there's a laser scanner where you put your hand. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Oh, Kathy, can't you see what they're trying to do? This isn't just a new craze. They want to make us their slaves. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. Don't go, Kathy, don't go. Kathy, let's leave while there's still time.
111 minutes. 111. I called it. 111. Jazz Radio starting now.
Text.
Yo-yo.
Text.
Yo-yo.
Yes, that cyber attacks would happen globally.
Cool.
And this whole
Strange cool.
scenario would make what happened in that cyber attacks look like a minor disturbance. It would look like something very, very small in the spectrum of chaos. That makes sense. What happens in that cyber attack? For example, imagine all of our phones, the whole United States, like something very, very small is zeroed out. Or we can't even get into our accounts, which DDoSing was in one of those cyber
What?
scenarios. It's just detaching us from the server. We can't use it.
Yeah.
Imagine we go from fiat currency, which is paper, right? Tangible. It's kind of tangible. It's still fictitious in my opinion. There's nothing backing it. But imagine we go to a system where all we're doing is paying with our phones, which the generations now are coming up and learning that that's all they really do because it's so convenient, it's easy, and if you put your credit cards on your phone, it acts like it's on a blockchain system, which means it's encrypted. It can't be hacked. No one can steal your information. No one can steal your credit card number. All that kind of stuff. It's a different credit card number every time it's used. So if this is the idea that maybe what we will go to with a financial system in the future, that we just pay with our phones, then Cyber Polygon will disrupt everything.
Rick, mate.
Authentication
Sup,
and
legend?
identification
Sup,
would be
Rick?
the
How you
new
going, you
system
legend?
coming out
I'm good, mate.
after that crisis, if that makes sense.
Just having a split
You
screen.
know, where they have to now brand people to actually know who they
What
are.
happened there?
You know, duo authentication was not good enough, if that makes sense.
It's going out.
You know,
Pretty
secret
good string,
questions
yes.
to get your password was not good
Occult
enough
reject?
anymore. They
What's in the
actually
occult
have to-
rejects?
You actually have to share your biological
That's good to
data
me.
with servers now
Cheers,
for
man.
them to know that you are who you are. I know it's kind of just a wild concept that I thought about, but it seems to
It's
be
supposedly, right? So all of these things could be better encrypted, but
I
they
just played a
continue
song.
failing forward.
No,
and
they
not
triggered me.
doing the type
Played
of
the song.
encryption they need to do on the lower levels, so
That
that
I'd
people
found out
can
through all
be
this other
secure
shit.
in
This sort of shit.
transactions. And they don't want to do
I
it.
think it's an Aussie
because
track.
They want to push us
Kathy,
into a
don't
different
go
system.
to the supermarket
That's
today.
pretty obvious. at
Like
this point.
1985.
AI is basically
Which is kinda like
a
about
snake
this
eating
shit.
its own tail. We see AI
Cheers,
hallucinations.
man.
We see, you know, them repeating facts that aren't real. You know, it's this constant sort of incompetence
Going
to
back to the
success
The
that we
spliffs.
see all across the government that they're now implementing with all of the AI programs and everything else.
They're talking about some trippy shit.
Yeah,
Doing some washing?
it's-
I'm getting
again,
some
this
loads
is
of
all
washing
pretty
done.
heavy stuff. I apologize if I speak too fast or if I'm
My
going
foot
too
slowly getting
deep,
better.
and it's just kind of
Mixing it up as you do,
It's
yeah.
stupid,
I
to be
do.
honest with you. I think it's a good conversation to have.
Have you seen the
It's-
VZ? They made
It's
a
doable.
Stores and
kinda.
Bickle
It's outside the
released a
sandbox for
VZ
sure.
thing.
You know,
You've probably
um,
seen it. You've
Well,
probably
you know,
seen it.
one thing I'll just be totally honest, and not saying that you're wrong. But
I
a
was
lot of
ranting
times whenever
about it.
shit
I
doesn't
had a
work
rant
out,
about
you
it, but I
change
think
the
that was on the
rules,
other
they never
stream.
sort of coming that way.
But I muted myself for
You know what I'm saying?
47 minutes.
I mean, thinking of it, I mean, honestly, what you're saying right here.
I'll turn these guys down a bit.
makes sense to me.
47 minutes, I munted myself.
It makes
Go,
sense.
Jezza, go.
Well, think
A
about
lot
the
of this is
transition.
part of that Agenda 2030, right? A lot of this is. So,
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Well, think about the transition from Internet 1.0
I just
to
munted
Internet
myself.
2.0. And they're now everything
But like,
that you want to find is now gonna
the
be
song,
on
that's a
social
trippy
media
song.
platforms, which are all
I said a bunch of
centralized.
shit there.
And the original Internet 1.0 was supposed to be decentralized. Everybody had their own website. They could design it themselves, and you can go there and interact and all the rest of the stuff. But now it's all been consolidated. And that's sort of like the move of incompetence to success that we see happening over and over again.
I
It's
was
like,
looking at these shoes
what they
too.
try and do is they
Don't know
try
about
to
it, they'll probably just get
disadvantage
90s.
the older
But,
systems that
it's
were
like a
probably
trail
more
one.
robust and better in terms of security
Might fuck yourself
in
now.
favor of more
Should I fuck it off?
centralization.
Or
And
should we
then
keep
once that
listening?
centralization fails, then you've got more centralization. And then once that centralization fails, you've got more centralization. So it's this constant treadmill of them
Pretty
producing a
fucking smart.
product they know
Still got a bit of coffee. I had my normal coffee
and then giving them
I guess
another
so.
product. And that's sort of like what they feel is the path to super intelligence, which
trying to make it
if you
last.
think fail forward leads to super intelligence, you are a moron. You know, it's not going to be what they think it is.
Hope you have a good day,
And
man.
it's obvious because the people who are programming
go back to
it
Jezza
behind
Radio.
the whole black box of what we see
Jezza
in
Radio
front of our
starting now.
screens are not good people.
Yep, about to
you
have
know,
one
and
coffee
they
myself.
don't want the best
Nice.
for us, and they don't us. And,
I'm on my
and if
second-
we think
second.
that because they've got these nice, you know, soft colors, that they're going to be nice to us. They're not going to be nice to us. It's just never been in the
42
plan,
likes now
ever.
over there. I got Winnie
Yeah,
Blues
yeah.
too. I put that in the stream. Duh.
it's interesting
I'm in
too,
the
right?
title.
Like these
Like twice.
these guys like
Duh.
Bill
Actually, I gotta go
Gates.
check that because I put my gloves in there and I don't want to
I
overdo
know
it.
he's
I
pretty
want to shrink him a
popular,
little
one
bit,
of
but yeah.
them. There's so
whatever.
many
I gotta go
more.
get him.
I read it in a MSN article not too I think this had to be probably, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago or something. And in the article, it read that he talked about in an interview where the smartphone era is coming to an end, and it's going to be replaced with something very surprising. And so I started doing a little digging on that, and
Get all my
I
gloves
found
clean.
this.
These haven't been
This
clean for like
article
2 months.
actually gets into
Almost dry.
gets into
Back
gets
in
into
business,
like
man.
that funk, which is a pretty cool video game if anyone hasn't
You
played
should have
it.
smelt these. Holy
It's,
fuck.
it's like that cyber.
Man, that game was so trash the first year, bro. Like, man, it was so broken. I was so pissed off, bro. I couldn't even. Every time I tried to load the game up, it wouldn't even load up.
Were you playing on console or PC?
These are the
Yeah,
better ones.
I was playing on the PS5,
The newer one?
bro.
Oh, it was even worse on console. I had it on PC and I was like, this is laggy. And
Yeah,
this guy
it
just
was bad,
jittered
right?
across
It made the
room.
game bad, and then when they finally fixed it, it made you not even want to play it, right?
Seriously, I actually returned it.
Nah,
Yeah, I have my PS5.
I'll be back out there
right
soon,
now.
like a few days, man. A few
I
days.
haven't touched it since then. Like I tried to, but I'm sorry to get off conversation. But when you mentioned Cyberpunk, bro, that shit was like one of the worst. And man, oh my
I
god,
was so hyped
These,
for it.
no,
I
these are
was
the
so
old
hyped for
ones,
it.
but they're just clean.
I was
But in
hyped
that
for it
game-
because of The Witcher 3. That's why. But that's it.
These are the original old ones, but I can't
Yes.
accidentally bleach
You know
them a
what's
bit.
crazy in that game?
Gotta use
They
a
have
Sharpie to
electronic
fix it
style
again,
tattoos that actually
or
go on the
just
side
dye
of your
them.
head.
But
And
that's
these
kind
things
of
can
shit.
be upgraded, which I read in a few articles too.
And these shrunk a
CRISPR
bit.
technology, that they're at, gene editing is upgrades. The same kind of concept plays in that with
They got good
the cellular
around here.
microbiology of our bodies, which is nuts.
Around here?
I mean, we're getting into. I
That's
don't
where you
know
get.
if
That's where you
we're-
wear your thumb.
If
Actually.
history
They're good.
is like
They're
the
good.
technology of history is coming back in our day today. I just find it so interesting that 200 years ago all this stuff kind
Come
of
on.
started, and now
Look
where
at the
we're at
light,
today,
mate.
it's incredibly advanced. DARPA has technology where they can grow insects around
Yeah.
microchips, and they could
Yeah,
actually
where's
control
your-
these insects, and they could actually use them to spy on people, which is wild, man. The technology is growing, technology is advancing, technology even faster, and I think with at least some of the reading I've done, a lot of these people, they don't really
That'd be it.
they have ethics, but their ethics are being tested, and they're failing because they're getting God complexes behind what it is that they're achieving, and they're actually wanting
Do
to
kind of
be
get loose.
God
need
or
light.
gods or whatever that idea is. They want to achieve that godhood in which way they want it to go, right? Which is intimidating a little bit.
It's
because-
funny because even
Yeah.
in the ancient text, gods die.
Yeah, okay.
Even gods can die. So I mean, why would you want to be a god if you
Let's
can
have a
die
look
anyway?
like that.
What is it
Let's
that
go the
you
other
want to
one.
be godly like for? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. In this article, with the smartphones
They're
and the
worn out
electronic
more.
tattoos, I just pulled it up here. So it says smartphones have been an indispensable part of our lives for over a decade. From checking emails to scrolling through social media and navigating our daily routines, these devices
These
have
feel
shaped
better
how we interact with the world.
because they're tighter.
But Bill Gates believes this era is nearing its end. According to Medium, Gates points to electronic tattoos, which are developed by Chaotic Moon and later required by Accenture, as the next big step
So I like
in
these.
personal
These feel
technology.
better.
Instead of holding your
They're more
phone in your
molded to my
hands, these
hand. Like, look at
tattoos
that.
could allow us to communicate, access the internet, and even monitor our health, all without a screen in sight. And it says one of the key advantages are that these tattoos are integrated into the body.
But they're smaller.
Imagine having a device that's embedded in your skin and it lets you interact with the world through simple gestures or touch. It's sleek,
It's kind of in the way.
unobtrusive, and possibly more intuitive than anything we've ever seen before. The tattoos are powered by tiny
Old gloves.
nanocapacitors.
Old gloves,
Could
just
be
clean.
quantum dot or graphene.
Clean.
And these don't require bulky batteries or displays, making them a far more subtle alternative to today's mobile devices. And I think that's where this hive mind kind of idea comes into play, because if you can, and I think it'll be integrated with our visual cortex. I think we'll be able to see these
There's
things,
none
and think on what we will. Let's say like a HUD display.
I didn't worn out
And
at
it
all.
pops up
Anyway.
in your
Except
vision,
where
or you see an email
lit 'em on
pop
fire.
up, and you look at it. Maybe you think
They're
you
kinda
click
fluffy
on
here.
It activates it, or maybe I want to call Nick today, and
like a sweat part. There's like
pull
a
up the
sweat.
phone book,
That's all.
click Nick, or maybe
Well,
it
it
just
was
does it on its
software.
own. But it's all doing this because it's interacting
Like
with
that
our
bit.
computer system, right? Our genetics, our DNA, cellular structure,
On
all
the
that
thumb?
kind of stuff. And they're
Okay.
able to do these things, which is interesting because I think it's going to come with a price. I think it's going to come
Do
with
that.
some sort of like a toxic load behind it, at least from me working in research. Everything has a toxic load. No matter what it is that you put in the body, if it's not natural to it,
You can do that.
takes a pathophysiological effect, and
Like
which
the
is like
sweat.
a reverse condition that the cell kind
Like
of
software.
goes through, and
And they have that there.
it causes either a symptom or an adverse
good.
event of some
I like
sort. But I think they're trying to narrow it down to a safe and effective, spectrum or range, if that makes sense. Which we've heard that before, right? We've heard safe and effective before. So
Same brand.
it's
Ironclad.
all interesting, man. I think I just think AI is
I've
is
used
down the
these
road,
to hold
is
this
coming
heaps of times.
to
Heaps.
at some point, put us in the back seat of our agency, if that makes sense. And just to think if that's possible is kind of wild. That's what happens to the worker bees. The worker bees are out there, they're doing their thing, they're actually going cross-pollinating, they're working according to their design. And when that queen bee releases those pheromones, boom, they don't make the decisions for themselves anymore necessarily, and they're doing with what the hive mind wants them to do. We can see the crises in the world today as well, where it could kind of push this idea for the world to come together.
Wonderful.
There's a climate crisis.
Back to Jezza
Possible
Radio.
extraterrestrials are coming.
Hope you're having a good day, Rick.
I think it was
Legend.
Reagan that said it in the United Nations.
Long break?
It's like this would be a threat
Spliff break?
to bring the whole
Smoke
world
break. I
together.
don't smoke. Just a quick
Something-
drop in,
something
Jezza. Got
interesting
to
about
do a few things
I
today.
mean,
I'll catch up with you later on. Savo.
People call me a fat.
Stay
all the time.
toasty, mate. You!
Because
Cheers,
I
man.
do. Because I do. I do.
Hope you get some
a
good
lot of
stuff. Down the stools and shit. I need to do that too. I'm just holding off. I gotta do probably just calls. Usual, whatever. Don't know yet. Kind of feel like exploring, to be honest. I get bored and go. Don't know, I don't want to carry shit back. It's just so freaking hard. Depends on how far I go. Anyway, catch you later. Have a fucking awesome day, man. Fucking sick as tits. Rick, the legend. Aussie Rick, mate. I think it goes that. Cheers, Rick, mate. Cheers. Cheers, Rick. All good. All good. Yeah, lots of shit about this Charlie Kirk. I don't know what that is, but whatever. He's fascinated or something. Darby Seven's going off about it.
It was even worried that they would kill him and voiced it.
This is the latest conspiracy.
Probably.
I'm not going to get into it, to be honest. It's not kind of like my thing, an American thing, and it's not really that Like it's for them. It's their thing. Like we've had our stuff. We've had a lot of weird shit here. And now they're getting their weird shit. That's the latest, I think. Fucking, what is it? Let's go to home. Have a look at the news tab. Hope you're having a good day, legends. Yeah, that's just all it is, man. Like, literally. Whatever. He's a politician or a fucking... I don't know. Oz legends. How are the Winnies going, bro? Fucking nice. Little bit like, I don't know, different, harsher kind of thing than the what I had before. Main roads. But they're good. I missed them. But they are slightly different or something, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they are. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm changing. It's because I'm changing back to them. Maybe they still kept them kind of the same. I thought they did when I first had new packs of them. I did think they were still kind of like okay. But maybe they're slightly bit stronger. Anyway. Yeah. Good. Do I have any coffee left? I think I drank it all. No, there's a couple sips. Sick. They're espresso. Triple, not triple, intense. It's pretty much the same amount of caffeine as it's not as nice as the triple. And I think they got rid of that toffee one. That was kind of alright, but it was in a good bottle, but I think they got rid of it. It was like limited edition only, or limited, edition, that's what it had written on it. Pretty sure, like a little red fucking little bit on the top. That was nice. Toffee for fucking, whatever it's called. I don't know if you caught that, if anyone else caught that. If anyone's into the dares. I like the dares, They got me by the balls, man. The dares, they got me. Tripped out. At least I'm off the energy drinks. So I can't. Every now and then I have this full craving for an energy drink. Every now and then I get curious. There's probably some new flavour out. Welcome back here to Jezza Radio. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just sitting chilling. Still waiting for the foot to heal a little bit, but we can still walk on it. Like, it's good. It's getting better. So I'm trying to get some shit done. As you can hear, the washing machine. I haven't got the fucking jet engine going. But yeah. We'll see how we go. It's going to be a massive tidy up, or bit by bit. Pick a job and whatever. I might even get brave enough to allow someone in my house. Wow. Just to help tidy up a bit. It's just too much shit. It's going to take me a while just doing patches or smash it out. Like one day. Totally smash it out. One day. Not quite there yet. I'm waiting for that to come back. Maybe so I can do the walks again and be like around there, get energized, I'll go out there and get energized and come back and then recover from that a little bit and then do whatever. I should look at my fucking astrology shit. I haven't looked at that for a while. I'm gonna do that. So yeah. This is my actual chart. And all the other shit. Like this first. Yeah. So I gotta get that going. New moon eclipse. What do the things say? Co-star. What's that? What's safe is not always what's needed. Be brave. You've built walls that kept you safe when dangers loomed. Look around now. They're keeping life out, not threats away. The discomfort you feel isn't warning, it's growth knocking, waiting for you to answer. Do beach house? Phone speakers, candlelight, don't turbulence, radioactive, on a limb. Diddle 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 diddle. Twilight Zone shit. What's happened? What happened to the washing? Is that finished? Guess it did. No, it's just doing its rotating thing. You don't need to be anywhere other than where you are right now to experience a powerful epiphany. There you go. There you go. There you go. So we're looking at these ACG fucking shoes. Yeah. That's an interesting bunch of shit. Back to YouTube. But I had Safari there. I'm gonna look at that. An ACG Rufus, but they're a bit like weird. Like sandals, I think. With no laces. Kind of weird kind of thing. Do ASICs have a fucking tracking? Or this thing, it's like only 130 and I could just trash them. Nike Juniper Trail 3. I could be specific for that. What do you reckon? Does anyone have any? I'm gonna fucking YouTube that, mate. That one. Might be better if these are fully trashed or retired. What do we got? Oh, there's a 911 too. Don't know. Fuck it. There you go. 1 year ago. Been around for a while. Well, this bloke. Maybe this bloke. Have a listen. Whoa.
I have to keep an eye on it slightly. Closer, don't stand in anymore.
It's another language, right?
Yeah, the Night Trail 3.
I know.
Oh, the new out this year, 2021, around June time.
I don't know. Just want to see what he thinks. It's one of those ones that's like 6 months or whatever, you know? Let's go that, 6 months. No. You're flaming joking. Best trail running shoes? Hmm. consumed 2 days ago. Like, you fucking kidding. Looking at trail shoes, man. That's what I need. Legends. Grip and stability. And cushioning. But like, still like a sneaker kind of thing, I reckon. Way to go. Long time. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, I can get away with it. I can get away with it. I can still get away with it. I can still get away with it. I need people to help me with this trail shoes. Maybe they are those. I reckon they are. That's gonna work. Get into that, put it in review or whatever the fuck. You. Someone gone no on their fucking somehow. Maybe I should just go back to that dude and see what he was talking about.
Okay, so I want to talk about the sole structure of the shoe. The outer sole and the midsole. Let's start with the outer sole. So, according to Nike and things like this, the outer soles kind of mimic the grit and the tread of a mountain bike, so to speak. The looks aren't very dense in there. Yeah, they're a little bit different to normal.
It's like, I think he's doing the Pegasus thing.
Well, normal.
Like Juniper.
Like this, a little bit of gravel, a little bit of soil and paint. They're fine. They work kind of well. For wetter conditions.
This one at the top is definitely Juniper.
Welcome to Cow Free Kicks. On this channel, I review leather-free sneakers only, and this video is all about the Nike Juniper Trail 3.
Here we go, legends. Listen to this guy. Speed it up, maybe.
Welcome to the channel. As with every shoe that I review on the channel, I will be looking into 5 different categories that I think are really important when you're making that decision into buying a new pair of shoes. And then at the end of the video,
Cheers,
I will give
legends.
you Nike Juniper Trail 3's
Oh, hang on,
overall
haven't
rating
got the
out of
green
5 stars. And if you do like what you
Always
see as you're
forget
going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. Once you're down there, if you've not done so already, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this review off as we always do by first checking out these Nike Juniper Trail 3's on feet. This is the latest version of the Nike Juniper Trail series from Nike. I reviewed the previous version, the Nike Juniper Trail 2 last year, and that video is on the channel if you want to check that out. This version, the Juniper Trail 3, is currently available in 3 different colorways via the Nike app and website. I personally do not think it is an upgrade looks-wise, whilst there's a lot more going on with the upgrade of the shoe, which we'll talk about in more detail in a minute. I just find them very shallow toe box, and overall, generally, the whole silhouette just looks very flat on your feet. And coupled with the fact that they've got quite a wide, narrow, and short toe box, they do look very flat, because that just makes them look even flatter and wider when they're on your foot. So I don't think they're an improvement on the 2s. Talking more about this version 3 though, They have made it a lot more busy. Obviously, I really love the speckle effect that you get with this darker colorway, with this black comfy ride foam midsole unit. There's a Nike ACG branding in the middle. That is to promote the ATC rubberized outsole that you get here, which is what your traditional waffle cutaways with more slanted angled cutaways as well. When you talk about the front of the sneaker with the toe box, you've got this rubberized toe guard that you get as a continuation of this outsole. That's normally found on the Pegasus trails, and then you've got some more trail Nike branding at the bottom of the laces. The toe box here is like an open mesh, and that runs throughout the upper of the sneaker. As you get towards the middle of the foot, you've got this TPU overlay detailing with the Nike swoosh kind of molds into the foam for the midsole. As you move towards the rear of the sneaker, you've got a heel pull, which you definitely need for these because these are very difficult to get on. You've got almost a little bit more trail branding here with a little trail emblem from Nike as well, and there's another trail emblem on the inside of this heel cup also. You move towards the other side of the sneaker, again, it's a mirror image of the other side. And then as you move towards the laces, you've got some flat laces that come with these, and you've also got a bit more detailing here around the lace lip, some TPU overlays on here to make them more durable. As you look at the foot edge of the hole here, you've just got a basic Nike insole stamp there. Overall, I think they're not bad looking shoes, just taken into context, but I don't think there's an improvement for the previous version. And as I said, when I put these on, I just felt they looked really flat. I do like the fact there's quite a bit going on, but maybe there's too much going on. And I'm not the biggest fan of this grid detailing that you get in the middle of the foot. I would have just preferred plain Nike swoosh, that would have done it for me. Especially when you've got that coupled with the fact you've got quite a lot going on with the midsole of these. But overall, not an improvement, but they do look okay. Comfort, well, I'm going to put this comfy right midsole to the test on my back to a second. So, this is a full comparison video with the Juniper 2s, but these Juniper 3s come with Nike's new Comfy Vibe midsole unit, and for me, I just don't find it as comfortable as the unnamed midsole foam that they used on the previous version. Now, they do feel quite firm underfoot. The most amount of responsiveness you get is definitely towards the heel of the sneaker. I don't know if you can see here, but it ridges out towards the back of the heel, and I'm pretty sure that's where most of the comfort lies with this Comfy Vibe midsole, because it doesn't feel like you get that much transferring from the middle of the foot, especially towards the toe box. Even though the ride height at the toe box is quite high, I just don't think this Comfy Vibe midsole is the greatest midsole that Nike has to offer. Yes, it's a budget midsole, because we'll talk about that more with the price. These are an entry-level trail shoe, so don't expect to get the world out of these. They're not a pair of Pegasus, for example, or a pair of trail horses. They are just a basic box standard entry-level trail sneaker. Comfort-wise, though, I do think they ride too firm for me. I like a bit more bounce in my trail shoes, and I just think with this ride height, I was expecting more Comfy midsole. On the top of your feet, it's got a your foot.
Pegasus
into these shoes.
Trail 5.
It's not the most comfortable on top of your
That's the
feet.
latest
The mesh
for
of
that.
these feels a little bit harsh compared to the previous versions, and also it's quite a heavy material. So when your toe flexes, the material cuts very deep into the top of your toes, and because they lie shallow anyway, I could feel that on the top of my toes every time I flex my feet, and I just didn't like that sensation. I don't get that with a lot of sneakers, so it's quite different to feel that on top of your feet when you do put a pair of sneakers on. Fit-wise, they're a true size fit for me. I've got slightly wide toe boxes, quite wide. I don't feel any concerns with comfort in terms of width. And lengthwise, I do think the toe box for these rides look short, but they are more of a true fit. If you don't like that snug feel, I definitely go half a size up. And if you've got wider feet, I definitely would too, possibly because you want that extra room in the toe box too. Overall, comfort-wise, I just think they're a little bit average. And again, I don't think
Gore-Tex 240?
Now I want to talk more about their
Just
weight.
normal 200. Fucking what?
So Nike have achieved a very lightweight pair of trail sneakers. Anything coming below the 350 gram mark for me is a lightweight shoe. Anything below 300 grams is pretty freaky lightweight, and anything above 400 grams, you're definitely talking about
What
a
makes them
heavyweight
like maybe
shoes.
good because they're
Overall,
lightweight,
they're a couple of grams heavier
you
than
know?
the previous version. I was expecting a little bit more because they've used light materials in the upper, and I was thinking that they might try and reduce the weight more as more of a selling point, but they haven't really talked about that in their press release at all, so I'm pretty sure they don't care too much because they were a good weight originally, so they haven't made too many changes there. But they are overall a good weight for a pair of shoes, and especially a trail shoe that has a more rugged outsole like these do with the ATC rubberized outsole. It's not a bad weight at all. Now I want to move on to their breathability, where I'm going to pump this mesh up a foot of smoke to see how breathable it is. So the open weave mesh that you've got on this upper does allow for the smoke to escape very nicely and in large amounts. You can see from the smoke test that initially it escaped from the toe box, but then it escaped from the remainder of the shoe that has this exposed mesh. The areas with this swoosh detailing in the middle that are covered with the TPU, unfortunately did not let the smoke escape. But overall, I do think they're going to offer you really good breathability because you can see they had areas all the way up by the side of the laces and all the way in the toe box that are going to let your feet breathe, and I do think
That's
overall
the
this is going
machine.
to be a good breathable shoe. Now I want to move
How
on
the
to
fuck
their
do
price.
they
Now
do
these
that?
set me
It's
back
smoke.
£80, and that is
Smoke
exactly the same
machine.
price that I paid for the Juniper 2s. So even though everything seems to be going up in price, Nike have kept that price
It's
point
not
for
really
Juniper 3s to £80. I was expecting them to come in at about 85 or 90, so I'm very happy that they haven't changed the prices at all. So big thumbs up to Nike for that. But overall, I'm going to give these probably a pretty average 3.5 stars. Now, I did give the Juniper 2s 5 stars because I think
We're gonna look at fucking Pegasus.
and the technology they use is much better than what they've got in this sneaker here. Now, with the previous version, you had fly wire, for example, that was knitted in and sewn in towards the midsole and the laces, so that when you did the laces up, it tightened up around the middle. like I mentioned earlier, is quite tight around the middle of your foot anyway, so you may not need that. But I just thought that additional technology, better midsole, the better looks overall, and for the cost, the Juniper 2 is for an easy 5 stars. But for me, I did struggle to give these more than 3.5, just because even though the price is really good and a nice breathable shoe, I don't think Nike have made any improvements on the than it has uphill. Don't forget, these are an entry-level shoe, so don't expect the world out of these. If you do want a much better pair of shoes, look at the Merrell Vibe Speed 2s that I just reviewed. They're insane. And also the Diadora Peak Sestriers, they're absolutely amazing. So look at those, follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to throw me a thumbs up before you leave, and hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Interesting. We got like 130. Weird that over the neck Nike Pegasus. That's React X, whatever that is. Do they all have it? I don't know. That's like an extra thing, maybe? Don't know. I just added that in the title of the video for the review. That's probably like the best pair for them. 160. That far away. All glove. Interesting. That might be where it's at. I'll just do this, dudes. So this guy's good.
Oh boy, reviewing another Nike trail shoe today. Hidden in the shadow of the larger, more cushioned Sagama 2 is the oft-forgotten Pegasus Trail 5. This is a low-slung road-to-trail crossover that I think can hold up quite well for the occasional trail training or local race where some added grip is needed. Now underfoot are low angular lugs made with compound and some of that juicy React X midsole goodness that gives more responsiveness than the cushion, the snap mesh upper with plenty of flash and fabrics to contribute to the shoe's overall durability. It's fun and casually fast, but in the end, for a few dollars more, should you be looking at something like the Sagama 2, or is this seemingly hybrid shoe worth your money for trail days? We have a lot to talk about today's review. What is it, everybody? Today we're trying to hear from the product review. Today we're talking about this from Nike. It is the Nike Pegasus Trail 5, their latest version of the door-to-trail, road-to-trail sort of hybrid shoe. I'm excited to talk about it. There's a lot of good bads. But of course, before we dive into the review, I'm going to give you the Ginger Runner disclaimer. All products that I review on this channel are either provided by the manufacturer or running warehouse, third-party vendor. I'm under no obligation to say anything positive or negative about anything that I review on this channel. I am not financially compensated in any way to say anything positive or negative about anything that I review. All opinions are my own. You're the first to see this review. Don't have to approve it or anything like that. So give yourself a pat right on the top of the head because you're great. All right, we're going to start with this review talking about the basics, the things that I like and dislike. I think it's this Trail 5 is different. Let's start with the things that I like. All right, nimble. So this shoe is very Kiger-like. You remember the Nike Terra Kiger, one of their trail shoes, has been out for 10 years now. It's low slung, has just enough cushion to kind of get you through longer runs, but definitely more race or short distance oriented, I'd say, only from a cushion perspective. It's very nimble. Fits like a slipper, feels very comfortable underfoot, provides you with a bit of that stability, and just kind of gets you through what you need to get through at a quick pace. So I really enjoy that. Accommodating. So this is a bit of a surprise for me. The width of the upper here plus the midfoot can compensate and accommodate multiple different foot shapes. I wasn't expecting that just because the Pegasus Road shoe tends to be a bit narrower. So if you have a super wide foot, it may not work, but I do appreciate the accommodating nature of the upper. Durable. Surprised by this. The Sagama 2 is more durable than I expected. The Pegasus Trail 5, I'm happy to report, is also more durable than I expected. The upper materials definitely reflect its road brethren, but they do hold up well depending on what sort of climates and terrains that you're running across. Again, this is sort of that hybrid shoe, door to trail, so you're probably not going to give it a ton of trail use, technical trails and stuff like that. But so far, holding up quite well with a few hundred miles on it, and I like that a lot. That being said, it's not all
tactical trails
or spooky Halloween decorations that make you go,
what the fuck?
There are a couple of things quite well with a few hundred miles on it, and I like that a lot. That being said, it's not all caramel apples rolled in peanuts or spooky Halloween decorations that make you well depending on what sort of climates and terrains that you're running across. Again, this is sort of that hybrid shoe, door to trail, so you're probably not going to give it a ton of trail use, technical trails and stuff like that. But so far, well, with a few hundred miles on it, and I like that a lot. That being said, it's not all caramel apples rolled in peanuts or spooky Halloween decorations that make you go, there are a couple of things that I dislike. Let's get to those. Flat, and I mean this by a performance slash feel, it lacks a bit of bounce. So compared to something like this Sagama 2 with that Zoom X midsole, the React X, while comfortable, it doesn't necessarily give me that sort of bounce and like propulsion that I would hope for out of something like Pegasus, or that you get out of the Sagama or the Pegasus. It just runs a little bit flat, so prepare yourself for that. I think a lot of people might like that sensation, a bit more ground feel, a bit more tension underfoot than something that's super soft and squishy. But for me, I do like a little bit more
bounce, the
That's
fit. So
normal.
despite this
Is it
being
back
a
to
more
normal?
accommodating shoe, as I mentioned, I will say that the lacing is sort of is shallow. So again, this is reflective of that Tarek hiker that I mentioned earlier in this shoe, which ran into some of the same problems as just like the lacing kind of being dialed in and that low, shallow platform. So width-wise, I'm good. I feel very comfortable in the shoe from a width perspective. It's sort of the overall profile of the shoe that gives me a little bit of problem. Not blister related, no real chafing. It's just an overall fit and comfort perspective. All right, so that is it for likes and dislikes. Let's get a bit more specific in our breakdown where we talk about build quality, comfort, fit, price, and looks, starting as always with build quality. As I mentioned, more durable than I expected. The mesh upper, all of the welded overlays, a bit more dialed in compared to the Zagama 2, which tends to be overbuilt. So I think the build quality here is going to hold up well, and it's a bit more minimal than its bigger, more massive brethren. Comfort, it is a comfortable shoe, though not as bouncy or soft as the Zagama 2. Or other offerings on the trail line from like Hoka, Bounce, stuff like that. That being said, it is a good race day shoe, or if you're looking for that sort of hybrid between a road shoe and a trail shoe, you don't want to spend all the money on something that is only going to work on the trail. This does get you some of that road and trail comfort. Fit, I think it's both one of the shortcomings of the shoe and something that works better than previous versions of the shoe. So I think it has enough width for those of you with wider feet, but I think it is a bit low for those of you who have taller feet. Price. So these are retail around 150 bucks. This color version, 150 bucks. But there is a color version that's probably one of my favorites in the entire line that is $115. I have a link in the description that will take you to Running Warehouse to show you the color version and give you that $115 price tag. If you are a GR crew member, you get an additional 10% off. It is a fun looking shoe, and at 115 bucks, that's a pretty damn good price. Finally, looks. That color version that I just mentioned, my favorite. This is not. This is definitely very trendy right now. It's sort of its primary color. Shout out to 90s flair. But this is not my favorite color version. Overall, it's a fine looking shoe, I guess. Bringing us to our conclusion. So the Pegasus Trail 5 is super fun, looks great. It's a solid hybrid shoe that'll get you from door to trail with ease. I do miss some of that Zoom X and spring of the Zagama underfoot. There's a part of me that just would prefer to get a pair of Pegasus road shoes for $10 less and get those muddy rather than get a few more lugs underneath and mesh layers up top, just more mass in general. Pegasus is simple. The Pegasus Trail is less simple. And if on sale, they are an incredibly capable shoe. So at that $115 price point, I think that's pretty damn good. Bringing us to our final criteria is the Pegasus Trail 5 a buy, try, or a why. At $150, it's a try, but at $115, that is a solid buy. I think it's a really good trail shoe, something you can wear casually, something you can wear on the road, get you from your door to the local trail or gravel path. For 150 bucks, that's a great deal. You're gonna get hundreds of miles out of it. Yes, it's a Nike. I think people love hating on Nikes, self included, but you're getting a pretty damn good shoe here for a decent price when found on sale. Again, link in the description. I appreciate you all very much using that link. That's it. Question not turns to you. Have you tried the Pegasus Trail previous versions or the 5? I know it's been out for a long time. I apologize. We're just getting back into the whole swing of things with reviews, so I'm running the shoe. If you have, what do you think? Like, dislike, let me know in the comments. And the end of our review. If you would like to support this channel, if you'd like to join an amazing community, please go to patreon.com/thegingerrunner. All tiers there get access to some really fun perks. We do daily live streams. We talk about running all the time, races. We have an amazing community of runners just like yourself, doing great things all the time, supporting one another. We call it the Misfit Run Club. That is what this shirt is that I am wearing. This new crew neck sweatshirt is that I'm wearing. It's our brand new Misfit Run Club.
Peace out. I reckon. Is that the way to go? Pegasus 5. Pegasus 5, no. Like 200. Pretty much. Women's got a better colorway. It's not black. It's like all black. You know? There you go. Any tips? Holy fucking shit. 335? Nike Pegasus Trail 5. How's that running 130? That makes sense. Weird ass colorways. 150? What? Yeah, that's the way to go, legends. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. Is anybody there? Fuck. Recognize legends came in and left because I'm looking at shoes. Still. But, yeah. Good if you're 10.5. That's a good deal on eBay. Fucking 300. That doesn't make sense. What's that? That could work, maybe. $12. This is the way to go. Does not want to load the pictures. That's cool. Pretty cool. You. Grey, basically. It's kind of a bit light. Dark. There's a few of those kind of thing. Rick, mate? Rick, was Legends anyone? Pegasus 5. Pegasus 5. Ah, fuck, keep going on. Pegasus Trail 5. Gore-Tex, even. Cement grey. Whole bunch of random different pieces on there. Random prices. Fucking, that makes no sense. Waterproof trail running. Right there. 183. Clever hiker. What's that? Interesting. That we reviewed on this website. Active feed. What's active feed? What's that? Can I go there? Is there an active feed shop? Whatever. It's an online thing. It's like over there. No. Mission. Mission. Okay. Okay. J Falls. Okay. Oh, that's June. Yeah. All that one. 260. Are you dreaming now? The sizes. Dreaming. Dreaming. Not that one, probably. No, not that one. That one, probably. Hmm? Okay, there. Hey. You do that. You do that. Right. Is that really? It's fucking on fire. Makes sense. Makes sense. Pegasus? Fucking. Oh, yeah, oh. That one? Probably not. It is. But it's. Hmm. finding shit. That's weird, they go up fucking high, man. So, stupid. Can't find the black and white. No. Let me try that. That's not gonna work. It's the same link I already looked at. Yeah. It's good. Go to the bottom of that. Oh, when's that? Oh, yeah. No, I can't do that. Nope. This is the thing, man. People just buy up all this stuff. So that's pretty much just the same thing. Going around in circles. Legends. What about this? Fucking link. Mate? Oh, that's just the same as that. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, we got that. That's brilliant. That doesn't help. Out of that. This one. That's just ridiculous. No. Leaving that link. What about that one? That really makes no sense at all. They got one side. Only one side. Yeah, okay. So they're like fairly popular, I guess. The Pegasus Trail 5. Yep. just get them, pretty much. So you're tempted. I honestly don't know how that kind of makes sense. So, do this one again. No shit. Got 150 on eBay. The exact same shoe. Got them on there like 150 each. And up to like 360. There's that. Okay. I don't know if that Cortex thing is like actually better or not. That's what I want to know, if the Cortex thing is actually worth it or not. Can't find a video on the Cortex.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Jar Reviews. Today we're diving into the Nike Pegasus Trail 5 Gore TX, your ultimate companion for wet and rugged trails. Priced at around $170, this trail running shoe is packed with features to keep you comfortable, dry, and ready for any adventure. Let's start with the upper. The Gore TX material offers top-notch waterproof protection, ensuring your feet stay dry in rain, snow, or muddy conditions. Plus, 3D printed toe cap adds durability where needed most. The high ankle cuff prevents debris from sneaking in, making it ideal for challenging terrains. Now onto the midsole. Nike's all-new React X foam is the star here, providing 13% more responsiveness than previous React technology. It's not just about performance, it's about sustainability too. React X foam reduces its carbon footprint by 43%, a step toward Nike's move to zero initiative for a more sustainable future. The outsole features the Nike Trail ATC pound, designed for superior grip on all surfaces, even in wet weather. Whether you're tackling rocky paths or slippery slopes, this outsole delivers dependable traction. At approximately 300 grams for a men's US size 10, the shoe feels lightweight yet robust. The reflective details on the heel add visibility during low light runs. And let's not forget the sleek, modern design. It's as stylish as it is functional. In summary, the Nike Pegasus Trail 5 Gore TX is built for winterized trail running, combining comfort, performance, and sustainability. It's the perfect choice for runners who won't let weather stand in their way. Thanks for watching Jar Reviews.
I got one full sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna cruise. I'm gonna cruise, legends. I'm gonna cruise. Time to cruise. I'm gonna cruise. Time to cruise. Time to cruise. Let's have one this one. And I'll cruise. Look at that other washing. There's a dryer. And do some other shit. Let's keep the torch. Back in a sec. Yo. Go on the beanie. I'm cruising soon. I have one little billy before I go. Find a jar. Hey, having a good day, legends. Looking at fucking Pegasus core, whatever, for trail shoes. I reckon they're the best ones, maybe, that they have, kind of thing. Or there's another thing. Get my fitness back soon. I reckon if I've got some decent brand new shoes, I'll be able to as well, because the cushioning, you know, straight up, cushioning, the cushioning, fuck yeah. I might just have to fix my bike myself. Whatever. I need to figure out what's going on in the middle of it though. But I could probably do the rest of it. The tyres and shit. I could probably do all that. I still need to take it there to find out all the shit that I need to get, I suppose. Cheers, legends. You. People there and then they left, I think. Cheers. On the cruise, I want to do some stuff. So, have a good day, legends. Peace out. I need water. Coffee. You. Shouldn't be doing that. Should be split skins. I'm an idiot. Just leave it alone. Should be having a couple of hits of this, maybe. No, that's my bedtime. Morning in bed. Okay, no. It's good for that time. Probably didn't help. I should have waited to finish that. Anyway, cheers, legends. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your day. What about 10 minutes to midday? Had my midday sesh early. See us on the next one. I'm gonna do some stuff. Peace out. Stay magical. Stay toasted. Jezza out. Boop. You.